On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto our children.
This is a promise from Donald Trump in multiple of his campaign rallies if he gets reelected. Donald Trump has shown his disregard for gender policies and the transgender community in a numerous amount of his campaign rallies, affirming that his followers care more about transgender politics than cutting taxes.
It's amazing how strongly people feel about that. You see, I'm talking about cutting taxes, people go like that. Talk about transgender, everyone goes crazy. Who would have thought 5 years ago you didn't know what the hell it was?
His behavior gives his followers the right to remain oblivious to how his policies will truly affect people's lives. The LGBTQ+ community and all families related would be affected by these candidates' promises. Laws that protect the LGBTQ+ community and trans lives would be affected, such as Title VII and Equality Act. Policies promised by the Conservative Party would affect every state in the United States, but especially red states. These policies would impact all families and students.
Imagine taking away the right to be yourself, the right to be a person. Imagine like a cis man not being able to be a man. That's what it's like for trans people. If you take away the right to not be a man, then who are they? If you take the right to not be a woman, then who are they? If you take away a non-binary person's right to express themselves the way they want to, then what are they? They're not a person anymore. And that's what I think is why they're taking it, because they don't believe we're people.
Here is current Vice President and presidential candidate Kamala Harris's voice on the matter of gender identity and LGBTQ+ policies.
A great deal of work in my career has been to address human rights issues, equality issues across the board, including as it relates to the LGBT community. And I feel very strongly about the importance of supporting the freedom and supporting and fighting for equality among all people, and that all people be treated equally. I will also say that this is an issue that we consider, and I consider, to be a human rights issue, and that will not change.
Here is former president and current presidential candidate Donald Trump's promises made on the subject of gender identity and LGBTQ+ policies if elected.
I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parents' consent.
A Jubilee debate represented the transgender point of view on both the conservative and liberal sides on how gender-affirming care can impact mental health.
I know there are a lot of kids in a lot of pain, and growing up as a trans kid, I was in so much pain, and I feel like I could have been spared of a lot of that and gotten to enjoy my life a lot more if I had earlier access to gender-affirming care. So yeah, I think it is life-saving care, and I think a lot of trans people would agree.
And they set up this false dichotomy as if those are the only two options moving forward. And here to tell any child feeling any type of way, those are not your only two options. In fact, there is a vast array of options in between and around suicide and transition.
What I discovered by walking with my head up is being able to say, no, I don't care what you think about me.
This is Shauna
And Camila,
WCSU News Election Connection.